We get a massive update on Auston Matthews heading into Game 7. We get another update on Bobby McMann and more. I'll get into this later on this episode, but before I start, I just want to say to thousands of you watching that aren't subscribed, if you're enjoying this daily NHL content and you never want to miss another episode, make sure to go down, hit that subscribe button. We'll be here all season long giving you updates from all around the league. But with that, let's hop straight into the first topic today. I'm sure everyone's excited to hear about. Auston Matthews returns. So we got an update from David Alter earlier today during the Leafs practice saying Auston Matthews appears set to take part in the morning skate. So we did get this update. He was skating with the entire team. No one was wearing healthy scratch jerseys, injury jerseys. Everyone was wearing the same full contact white Leafs jerseys. We also got an update immediately after by Chris Johnson. This was following the practice. Sheldon Keefe says Auston Matthews is progressing, but as there's been no determination on if he'll play Game 7 tonight. So a lot of the Leafs fans were looking at this worried, saying, hey, we're going into Game 7 in Boston after clawing back after a 3-1 deficit against the Boston Bruins. And we'll be without Auston Matthews again, our 69 goal scorer. But we get a huge update just about 10 minutes ago from Chris Johnson saying, it sounds like Auston Matthews is a good bet to return to the Leafs lineup for Game 7 tonight in Boston. Now, I just want to say this is huge news. This is terrific. This is something a lot of Leafs fans weren't expecting to happen after the reports we got today. Like I said, we had reports that he was taking part in practice. He did depart after about 15 or 20 minutes into practice, and some of the players did stay on the ice. Sheldon Keefe coming out and saying, hey, he's progressing. There's no determination on if he'll play. We've seen this for multiple games in a row. We were expecting to go in to face our demons, to battle Boston in Game 7 once again without Matthews. But like I said, Chris Johnson reports it here that Auston Matthews is a good bet to return to the Leafs lineup. And where does he fit in this lineup? And I know this is a big debate happening. So when you do look, this was the lines from just the lines leading into last game. We've seen that Bertuzzi, Max Domi, and Mitch Marner. I wanted to say at first, don't break this lineup. If Sheldon Keefe is magically watching this, do not, whatever it takes, break this top lineup as they've been dominant. We see Matthew Knies, John Tavares, and William Nylander, which has been a great line. We see Nylander score 2 goals with this line, 1 including the insurance, to push it to Game 7 against Boston. It was the game-winning goal after Joseph Woll sadly let in a shot with .1 on the clock. And I know people are going to call me crazy. I know it's not going to happen. Auston Matthews, in my opinion, fits perfectly onto this third line with a guy like Nick Robertson and Holmberg. I'm not saying keep him here all game. I'm not saying Auston Matthews should be playing third line minutes. I'm saying the matchups against Boston with Auston Matthews playing shifts with this third line, maybe he pops up onto the top line, popping around the lineup. I think this causes a mismatch nightmare for the Boston Bruins, which I will get into a tiny bit later on. Before that, I wanted to talk about the power play and how much this is going to help. Obviously, we've seen Max Domi take over Auston Matthews' top spot on the first power play. I think this is just going to go straight back to what it used to be of Mitch Marner, John Tavares, William Nylander, Morgan Rielly, and Auston Matthews. We'll see Domi with his new confidence, the wave he's riding right now on how well he's been playing will add some much needed firepower to the second unit. This is the Leafs team that I believe is 1-22 on the power play in the series against Boston. The fact that they're coming back, winning these games, shutting down Boston while being the worst power play team in the league with a lineup like this, including Auston Matthews, is just absurd to me. If the power play gets clicking, this is a game that has to happen. Getting Matthews back in here to shake things up, get that goal scoring, to get anything going with his power play is going to be huge, and it's going to be game-changing, especially if they can get it going and if they can fix it. So I was kind of talking about the matchup nightmares, and when you do look at this Boston team, yes, they're not going to be completely top-heavy, but when you look at this Boston team of James Van Riemsdyk, Trent Frederic, and you have Justin Brazeau down on the third line, if Auston Matthews is matched up against this line, if this is the line Boston wants to go out and to make them cover Auston Matthews the entire game, I think this causes a complete matchup nightmare. Obviously, Brad Marchand and Charlie Coyle, Morgan Geekie, Pasta, Zaka, and DeBrusk, these lines have been matching up pretty well against the Leafs' top line in a line like Domi, Marner, and Bertuzzi. But getting Auston Matthews in, especially if it's just for a few shifts on that third line, like I said, you have Trent Frederic, you have a guy like Van Riemsdyk. If you put him in between a guy like Holmberg and Robertson, I think this causes a lot of stress on not only the Boston defenseman, not only on the coach, but on this line that's going to cause a just nightmare on them. Yes, like I said, the best bet is to put a guy like Matthews, maybe in between Nyes and Nylander. Maybe John Tavares slides down. Maybe you just go back with this lineup that you had when Matthews was in, with Matthews, Domi, and Bertuzzi. But it's going to be hard to figure out in this top six who goes down to that third line between a guy like Mitch Marner, William Nylander, John Tavares, Auston Matthews, Domi, Bertuzzi, Nyes. One of these guys are going to end up on the third line, and I think it might be Matthews' time to take one, sit down on that third line, absolute dominate, slide up and down the lineup. We've seen Keefe love to shake lines up in between games, periods, whatever it might be. This is the time to get creative with your lineup. This is the time that Keefe can prove that he is an NHL coach and prove that he is the coach that the Toronto Maple Leafs need. And it all comes down to this game matched up against this team here. What's your guys' thoughts on all this? Like I said, it's a lot to take in. We have reports that Matthews is playing tonight. Where do you guys think he should play? Let me know down in the comments. But we'll get straight into the second topic today, which is Bobby McMann's update. Obviously, this has been a team without Bobby McMann, but we get another report today from David Alter that Bobby McMann is also taking part in morning skate. First time we've seen him on the ice. Obviously, this is a team that's not going to get Bobby McMann for this game. If they do make it, and I should say when they do make it, when they make it to game one of the second round, when they do make this round, Bob McMann will be back in the lineup, and it's going to add even more firepower, physicality. He's going to bring a lot to this Leafs team. So just getting an update that he's back on the ice for the first time, getting his groove with this team is an awesome update. Now, I did kind of click on this by mistake, but I also did want to kind of touch on the defensive pairings. The defensive pairings going into this game tonight is obviously going to be the exact same. Lyubushkin has been outstanding with a guy like Morgan Rielly. Statistically, he's been one of the Leafs' best defensemen. Benoit, McCabe, this has been completely underrated by Leafs fans. This pairing has been outstanding physicality, shutting down the pass line. They have been great. Joel Edmondson, who actually has not lost a Game 7 before, is staying in the lineup with a guy like Timothy Liljegren. And once again, the defensive pairings are outstanding. I'm happy with both these pairings. What's your guys' thoughts on this? Bob McMann coming back. What's your thoughts on the defensive pairings? What's your thoughts on everything I spoke about? Leave a comment down below. And talking about comments, we'll get into everyone's favorite topic, which is comments of the day. And I did want to do a little change on this, and this is actually a two-parter. We get one comment today saying Leafs are winning tonight. Couldn't agree more. This is where they slay their demons. This is where they change the narrative. This is where this team makes history for themselves and makes that push so fans and other fan bases aren't going to be making fun of them for these collapses. We also get an update on, or another comment on Cowan and Minton saying how exciting they are. There's actually a video on Fraser Minton coming out tomorrow, so make sure to keep your eyes out for that. He's been having an outstanding season, and he's not getting covered enough by us, so we will drop a video on that. But that'd be it for this episode of Hat Trick HQ. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go down, like, subscribe, leave a comment. You could be featured on the next episode of Hat Trick HQ as comment of the day. Other than that, are you bought in? Are you excited? It's less than 2 hours till game time. The Leafs are going to slay the demons tonight. Take care.